Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a guide for round 2 of the Manufacturers Cup 2022 series taking place at Sardegna C with the Group 4 cars. So let's take a quick look at the race details, and if you haven't noticed by the cover image, I picked the Dodge Viper as my manufacturer. But anyways, this is a 20 lap race at Sardegna C, Group 4 cars. We have the racing hard and soft tires available, but only the racing hard tires are required. Fuel and tire wear are at ×1 for the race, so neither tire wear nor fuel will be an issue. And once again, racing hard tires are the mandatory tires that you have to use for the race, so you need to use them for at least one lap. But anyways, let's go on over to the lap guide. So we're going to bring ourselves towards the right side of the track. Look for the 100 meter board as you're going to brake right as you pass it. So you're going to brake hard for a short while, 100% braking power. Ease off of the brakes as you're turning in, so doing a bit of trail braking. But as soon as you hit the apex, you want to quickly get on the throttle. For the first turn, you can take it rather aggressively. Then bring yourself towards the right side of the track. Here comes the most critical turn in my opinion. You're braking just as you pass the 50 meter board. 100% braking power for a short moment. Shift down to third gear and ease off of the brakes. You want to get on the throttle as soon as you can, taking advantage of the entire width of the track, trying to maintain your momentum. The downhill assist can easily be taken flat out. Take the left turn flat out, but as you make your way through the right turn, start to ease off of the throttle right around here and use the end of the curb on the right as your braking point. So ease on the brakes, try to bring yourself towards the middle of the track, ease off of the brakes as you're turning in, go up to second gear, and then get on the throttle as soon as you can. But that is pretty much it for the lap guide. In a moment, we'll go ahead and get started with the strategies. Alright, when it comes to the race strategies, as we mentioned earlier, we have the racing soft and hard tires available, but only the racing hard tires are the required tires for the race. So you need to use them for one lap or at least one lap so you don't get hit with a 1 minute penalty after the race ends. And because of that, you're basically only going to have two strategies to pick from. The first strategy is where you do as many laps as possible on the racing soft tires, pit on over to switch to the racing hard tires, and then you do just one lap with them. So basically you're doing 19 laps on the racing soft tires and only one lap on the racing hard tires, or vice versa. The other strategy is where you do all 20 laps on the racing hard tires, so you're doing a 0 stop on the racing hard tires. So those are your two main strategies to pick from. And to have the long story short, the 0 stop is going to be the faster strategy. So when it comes to the 1 stop, the problem is not the tire wear, because once again, tire wear is a ×1 and the racing soft tires can last pretty much the entire race. The problem is the pit loss. So when you go on over to the pit stop to switch over to the racing hard tires or vice versa, depending on which tires you started on, when you go to the pit stop, you lose a ridiculous amount of time. Your pit loss for this race is around 22 seconds. And we'll skip on over to the end of lap 19. You can actually see the tire wear on the bottom left hand corner of the screen. So at least in the Dodge Viper, the tire wear is not the biggest issue in the world, but it is there. But anyways, let's go on over to the pit stop. We're going to go ahead and spend about 200 trillion years waiting for our car to arrive to the pit stop, switching over from the racing soft tires to the racing hard tires. So you can kind of already get an idea about how long the pit stop is, kind of like how it feels like eternity, just trying to get this done. Switching over to the racing hard tires, no need to refuel, and off we go. And because we're actually going slower down on the main street as we exit the pit stop, we're still losing time, so keep that in mind. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and finish this race with a 19 minutes and 14 second total time. So this is the base time that we're going to try to beat with the 0 stop. And here we go, 19 minutes and 14 seconds with the fastest lap of a 56.0. Alright, going over to the zero stop where you do all 20 laps on the racing hard tires. The strategy is really straightforward. So once qualifying ends, you just switch over to the racing hard tires and just drive. You try to avoid any sort of shenanigans, try to avoid any unnecessary battles, hope that people are doing a one stop so they lose about 1 trillion years in the pit stop, and that's kind of it. One thing I will mention is to be careful with this left turn right here. I call this turn the heartbreak corner because if you do it wrong, it's going to break your heart and it's going to ruin your run. So I just want to put that out there. But anyways, with tire and fuel at ×1, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You just drive. And the main benefit about this strategy, the zero stop on the racing hard tires, is that you don't pit. So you don't lose any momentum in the pit stop because you're always going forward, you're always driving because you're on the required tires, which is the racing hard tires. And in this race, I was able to get low to mid 57-second lap times, sometimes even poking into the 56-second lap times. But at the end of this race, for the zero stop, I was able to go 10 seconds faster, or about 10 seconds faster than the one stop, getting a total time of, give it a moment, there we go, 19 minutes and 6 seconds, so about 8 seconds faster than the one stop. And to better illustrate about how big of a difference the zero and the one stop are, I have both race clips on the screen right here, with the time on the bottom left hand corner of each clip synced up to the same exact time. So right now, these two cars are about 12 seconds apart from each other. So the one stopper on the right side is about to complete sector 1, whereas the zero stopper on the left is about to approach the heartbreak corner. So they're about 12 seconds apart from each other, and the one stopper is going to get ready to enter the pit stop. So this is where you're going to see about how big of a difference or how much of a momentum killer the one stop is. So the one stopper is in the pit stop right now. The zero stopper is getting ready to pass the pit stop, getting ready to start the final lap. So right now, the one stopper is barely showing up into the pit stops, whereas the zero stopper has already started the final lap and he's still going. And don't forget, once again, the one stopper is going slow out of the pit stop, so he's still losing time. And the zero stopper is already noticeably ahead of the one stopper, and he doesn't have any tire wear issues because tire is a ×1 and he's on the racing hard tires. So you can see that with the one stop, your momentum gets annihilated and you still lose even more time after that. So the one stop is not going to be the way to go. It's going to be a zero stop race on the racing hard tires. So do the qualifying on the racing soft tires. Once the qualifier ends, switch over to the racing hard tires. But anyways, that is going to be it from me. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. So thank you guys for the support. Thank you to Playseat for supporting the channel as well. This is Mr. MCA. Wish you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.